So this is a big move. As a competitor, Sebastian, what do you make of it?
Well, yeah, it's definitely a big move, quite interesting, obviously, to follow. But it's directionally speaking, what we've been, believing to happen for a long period of time is that, as you just mentioned, we're seeing a massive transformation in retail banking. It reminds me a lot of what I saw e-commerce and retail do 10 years ago. And there's going to be three areas of big players, right? The tech companies, fintech, and some old banks will try to reinvent themselves in this transformation. And so, from that perspective, it makes sense. What surprises me slightly is though that currently in the US, there's a massive momentum for buy now, pay later. Take Klarna's example, we're getting close to 20 million users, growing at 400% rate. And so just surprised to see what might be a distraction for one of the largest players over the next year at a very, very critical point of time when all of us are trying to, shape up and change this market in the US.
So have you gotten more M&A interest in the last 24 to 48 hours as a result of this? I mean, we had an analyst on the show yesterday who said Klarna could be a target.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we think more about like, what are our targets? We thought about PayPal, but it looked slightly overpriced at the time. So, well, we'll see.
You have bought, I believe, 3 companies just in the last month yourself. I mean, there are folks out there who think that buy now, pay later is just a feature of a bigger fintech company. How do you respond to that?
No, I think that's true. And that's, if you look at what Klarna does, for example, most people in the US may not be familiar with that, but we offer, for example, we have our own plastic card. We've issued over 500,000 cards in Europe. We offer deposit accounts, banking services, and so forth. So we have basically all of the features that you expect from the neobanks. Not all of them launched in the US just yet, but we see the market in a very similar way. Buy now, pay later to us is a feature, and what Klarna tries to do for merchants and consumers goes far beyond it. But it's a fantastic feature to unlock the market, and it also spells much better future for consumers because it is, free for consumers. It only charges merchants. It doesn't have all of the poor aspects of the traditional credit card industry, which is really, really bad in how it, tries to put you into debt, tries to charge you overdraft fees and push you into revolving and so forth. So it's a better, less predatory model that is much more consumer friendly.
Now, this is a space that Apple is getting into with Goldman Sachs. Of course, PayPal is in there. Now you have Square buying Afterpay. There is Affirm. I mean, how does this change the competitive landscape for you? Is this a competitive threat?
Well, I think, again, as I said, I think that my expectancy is that, we're going to have 2 companies that's going to spend a lot of time now figuring out how they're going to work together. And I think to us, that's rather an opportunity than anything else. When it comes to the big players, I'm not I think to some degree we're seeing the traditional tech giants in Silicon Valley overstretching. They think they can do everything. I think it's possible to be good at some stuff or excellent at some stuff, but very hard to be good at everything. And we see massive potential. And we're neighbors here, not to another company, Spotify, that wasn't supposed to exist due to iTunes and Apple Music, and is thriving and doing really well. And so we hope to be able to replicate that in the banking services in the US.
So I guess the question is being asked, does a company like Klarna make more sense as part of a bigger financial institution, or are you aspiring to be that bigger financial institution yourself?
I would say definitely the latter. I mean, I've been at it for 16 years, right? And we've had a fantastic journey so far, but we really feel like we're at the beginning of it. We're been very lucky to strike partnership with Sequoia and have Michael Moritz on our board support us for the last decade. And I think when me and Michael look at the future, we feel very, very excited about the next 10 years, because again, this is not the end. This is really the beginning of the transformation of retail banking. You can see all the trends, it's all happening, but it's still early days. And so similar to, asking Amazon 10 years ago, would they sell? I think, why would they? And why would we? This is just the beginning.